Do do do. Welcome to the Silverhairstacker solo show. Show. And here we are, Friday, April 4th, 2025. How's everybody doing? Man, time is just flying by. Fly by. Ba-ba-ba. You didn't get notification. Huh. Hey, Javis. Yeah, get a pen and paper and start writing. Hello, Spam Banshee. The cutest smile on YouTube. Texas Val, Texas Val. Hmm. Yeah, Tom's not here this morning because his mother was having chest pains. So I guess she's back in the hospital. So we need to say a prayer. Send out good thoughts. Hope she's doing okay. I think he said one time she's around 90 years old. Defrosting a freezer. Yeah, that's hateful. I have a tool listed for that. You plug it in and stick it in the freezer. It's kind of vintage. Morning, Mike. Morning, Lag. Ba-bum-ba. Lag's experimenting with all the other buttons on his keyboard. So yeah, listing. How much do you list? Do you have a set listings per day, or do you just list when you feel like it, like me? I'm kind of a list when I feel like it. I don't get a lot of listings done on certain days, like Monday. Monday I watch, we got my show, and then we got Primo Chemo's show at noon, and then I watch Flip It Ain't Easy in the evening or late afternoon. And then Monday's always a bigger packing day, so that takes basically at the end of my show on Monday. I pack orders until Primo comes on. And sometimes I get them done and get them out to the post office before Primo starts, and sometimes I don't. Um, Jabez, she lists $500 worth of stuff a day. That's that's very good. I I don't do that. Some days I list $500 a day. Some days I have stuff that's worth more, so it only takes like 3 or 4 or 5 items to hit 500. Um, 5 to 10 a few nights a week. Yeah, $100. 12 a day, Monday through Friday. Um, but some day, like yesterday I did about 12, but it was just like knives and watches. They're pretty quick to list. But sometimes I have like a piece of stereo equipment to test and some things to maybe clean, that type of deal, so it takes longer. There's an auction that is live and, sorry, my ADD kicking in. I switched topics. We're still on listing. Uh, what's SESL? Having a state sale in Arbors West. Yep, our community yard sales is 1 week from today. So what I do for that, I go shopping on Friday, and then Friday afternoon I set up and I do my yard sale on Saturday. Tom's mother had chest pains, so I don't know if she's been admitted to a hospital. I'm sure that she probably has. So he's taking care of his little mom. You list while you're in bed watching TV. Well, that's a good way to do it if you've already got all your pictures done. Yep, prayer time. So anyway, Tom stays pretty busy with his family and painting and everything else he does. You know, when you get to retirement age like me and Tom, sometimes you're just too busy to work on the business or mess with YouTube. I always start with photos. Yeah, I know it's not the correct way to do it, but I like I got my picture taking area right here by the desk. I'll take one knife and I'll go take some pictures of it, and then I'll come back to the computer and I'll list it. I think I'm better that way because, I think I make better listings that way because that particular item is in front of my face, and I'm thinking about it. Whereas if I take a whole bunch of pictures, my old man mind can have a little time to forget some things that I should put in the listing. How far, Sadie? Do, do, do. I like to do it that way. Yeah. How many people have ADHD? Is that? I have a little bit. I changed my avatar to a Shasta can with a red one. Phone or computer? I can list on the phone, but I never do. I always list on the computer. I don't like typing on the phone as much as I like typing on the computer. I think that's the main reason I always use the computer to list. I'm just used to a keyboard, and the buttons on a phone are kind of small, and I always make a lot of mistakes. Undiagnosed. Yeah, I've never been to a doctor about ADD. List perfectly and then push them out to eBay, Mercari, Posh, Etsy. Okay. Somebody remind me again of how much List Perfectly costs. Isn't it like 25 bucks a month or something? Doo -doo. Um, I suppose I've got a mild case of ADD. Now my boys, both my boys have it bad. They both have taken uh, medications for ADD. Dun, dun. Said he's got ESP. I thought you were extrasensory. Their tiers. I pay for their pro plan at $99 a month. Jeez. So that's well over 1,000. That's $1,200 a year ish. That's quite a chunk of my. Of course, there's a lot of ways to think about it. There you go. Dun, dun. Like has ESPN. One or two? Well, he's got one and he's got three. I pay for my photo room subscription for your pay. I don't even. The pictures I take, I try to have good lighting and I use the cropping tool on eBay and that's about all I ever do. I like the brightening tool on eBay because sometimes colors show up better when you hit that brighten it up a little bit. Of course, it can make your colors on things look a little different than what the customer gets. FOX. So anyway, what was it? Wednesday, I sold $700 worth of stuff. Thursday, I sold $250, $350 worth of stuff. Yesterday, I sold $68 worth of stuff. I sold two things yesterday. Love the consistency of eBay. Isn't it funny how it goes? You're up, you're down, you're up, you're down, you're up, you're down. But you got to look at your monthly averages. You had zero yesterday, Anissa? Yeah. It's it's crazy how eBay go. Crazy how eBay go. Yeah. So I'm looking at a pallet auction. Da da da. Stuff to buy. I don't really need more stuff right now because I'm going to be pretty busy this week getting ready for the garage sale. So I don't really need to buy more stuff right now. Plus, just Monday, on Monday, I went and picked up all my stuff from the auction. So I don't think I should buy anything, although there's some interesting stuff. Da, 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 da. Yep. I don't want to have FOMO, you know? I got a lot of stuff to list, but I don't want to miss out on making a big purchase again for some very good stuff. I'll show you real quick. I did go ahead and bid on some stuff, but I'm positive these bids won't hold. But I'll show you what I bid on. I mean, if they hold, that would be great. But dun, dun. And here we go. from the Clark Auction Company. And I want to go to bids. So I bid on 6 things. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's about 23 of those airtight, watertight military cases. And a pallet is 4 foot by 4 foot. So these are like 16, 18 inches wide. So these would be perfect to sell. But my bid of $10 will for sure not hold. And these are easy to store because you can actually just leave them outside. They're not going to get hurt because they're watertight. And they all got to be cleaned up anyway. So there's that. And here's a pallet of filament tape. It's like 3/4 inch wide tape. And they're in boxes of case boxes of 72 rolls. And retail value is $8,000 for 63 cases. Would y'all put a bid in on that? There's 4,500 rolls. That's a lot of tape. Nessa, would you bid on that? Yeah, you would. Because you're crazy like me. Then we got, these are little safety things you slide over the hinge of the door so nobody can open the door from the outside. So this would be good for apartments or dorm rooms or whatever. Tape goes bad. Yeah, and it rained today, so that stuff's out in the rain. Maybe bad tape. Uh, all this stuff is out in the rain, and it rained this morning, so. Okay, this pallet is bamboo cutting boards. And they come in 2-piece sets. But I see exposed wood here, and if it's been raining, you don't need a bunch of bamboo cutting boards that have been rained on, I guess. That wouldn't be good. And the extended retail price is $1,677. Toothbrush holders, yeah. This looks to be about 10. Let's see, 1, 2. Yeah, about 10 of those Dyson blade hand dryers that are on the walls of places. I looked these up on eBay, and they used ones sell for like $300. There may be more than 10 there. So if you got 10 here and they're worth $300 each, how much is that? That's some bucks. That's some big bucks. I know, lag. I don't need to be buying anything right now. That bit. And this one's already been outbid. This is another pallet lot of Dyson hand dryers. But this one's got like 20, 25 or so on it. That's a bunch of hand dryers right there. But if there's 25 of them and they're $300 a piece, yeah. Boom, boom. And I suppose These would be okay getting rained on because they're going to get wet anyway, right? Surely some of those are in working condition too. So there you go. That's what I put bids on. All right. Evil Lutheran report. I bought one thing. What was it I bought? Let's see. I gotta go look to remember now. God, I'm old. I wonder if it's the ADD or old age that makes me forget from one time to the next what's going on. I don't remember what I bought. Oh yeah, here it is. It's not worth that much, but should be pretty easy to ship. And so, are you ready for this? Da, da, da. I bought a percolator. It's old school, man. You know, it's got the glass top thing. It's got the cord inside. It's got the cutesy little etching on the outside. Looks to be in good shape. This is a Coffee-Matic made by Universal. Made in the United States of America. That's all I got. Cost $3.50. I handed him $4 and told him to keep the change too. Lag, you would buy all the stuff in the auction? Hell. And there was some more lots of stuff that I don't think I'm even going to get up and go look at it. They've got a preview today, but it's 25 miles over there. If it was right here in town, I'd go look, but I don't think I really even want to get anything. How much cash does everyone carry when sourcing? Now, if it's like a citywide garage sale, like this Friday, our town is having our citywide, and there's like 150 garage sales in our county this weekend. So I will load up. Gosh, I'll probably get at least $700-800 to carry around. Yeah, Robin, it's got the cord in there. Ta-da! It's all wrapped up in the grounds basket. I haven't tested it, and of course it needs cleanup. I figure I can run a couple of times with vinegar water and get it clean enough. The outside doesn't have any dents, so that's a positive. But these sell for like 30-35 bucks. Old school percolators. Look them up. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. So anyway, I can see myself. Y'all probably saw me in the reflection off the coffee pot. We always had coffee pots like that when I was growing up. I perked them up. Yep, percolator. What does it do? It's a coffee maker. Come on. Da, da. Two places. Todd Bidle. No, it's our. It's a big auction, but it's. And they do get some government surplus. I don't know where. They have consigners, and I have no idea where their consigners come from. What's a couple of thousand? What's 60? The percolator? I don't know. Let's look up that percolator. We're not doing anything. Share screen. Entire screen. All right. So this is a vintage coffee by Universal. Made in the USA. So there's one. Just like it. They're asking 59. Huh. Ooh, mine's not that clean. Well, it's not, I don't guess it's exactly the same model, but it's awful close. Let's check the sold listings for Universal percolators. Man, that one sold for 90. That one sold for 30. That one's like mine. It sold for 28 plus free shipping. Yuck. That one sold for 50, 40. That one with the still has the box sold for 60. So they're between 25 and 60, I guess. That shape appears to be popular, selling for more money. Does have an interesting shape. Anyway, okay. Back. Get me back here. Couple of hundred, Sadie. What are y'all talking about? Oh, couple of, that's how much you carry when you're out sourcing. I like to use cash because deer camp cabin. I like to carry cash because if we don't, folks, if we don't use cash, they're going to stop making it. And then where would garage sales be? Reaching for the eye bleach? What are you talking about? Ba-ba. Shoot, no, I always carry a lot of cash. And I'm a tightwad, so if I can't find something good to buy, then I ain't gonna buy it. Yep. Boom, boom. Microplastics. There's microplastics in coffee. I guess in the pods. Yummy. Uh, pocket money. Yeah, 800 bucks chump change. How much we take? Okay. Thanks, Javis. I just lost track. It's the ADHD. Dun, dun. You don't report garage sale proceeds? Oh, on your sales. Ba-ba. Coffee pods. All right, I caught up. Yeah, I just got behind in the chat, so I was making up things in my mind to answer questions. A pod with no plastic. So they're going to make them out of cardboard or something? You only carry Bitcoin. Bitcoin came back down in price some, didn't it? Let's check the stock market because the stock market is, it's not crashing, but it's going way down. All the all the tariffs that have been put in place are pretty wild. Because Trump put tariffs on China, and China just immediately responded by putting more tariffs on us. Wow, we're going down. So, when the stock market's down, it's time to buy, right? Cornstarch. Well, cornstarch is bad for you. GMO cornstarch. Thanks, Mr. Trump. Yeah, it almost had to be done though, didn't it? Because other countries are charging us a bunch in tariffs. We just want to level the playing field, right? Wait, what? China put more tariffs on us? Yeah, what was the story on it? Yeah, Dow futures tumble a second day, losing 1,000 points after China retaliates to Trump tariffs. China's going to impose a 34% levy on all U.S. products. This matches the tariff on Chinese goods coming into the U.S. unveiled by President Donald Trump on Wednesday. 34%. I thought he was going to do 10% and then, but I was thinking China was already about 34% imports from the U.S. But what is the Temu stuff not going to be so cheap? That's right. Probably won't be able to get it at that price. Yeah, they could probably still get it, but yeah, we're at a trade imbalance with just about everybody. And it's really only fair that we match what they charge us. Using it like a tool. Mm. So I'm basically for the tariffs in some ways and against them in other ways. If they hold to the end of his administration, we should get more manufacturing returning to the United States. That's one good thing. And the tariffs on goods we send out will ease the tax burden on the U.S. citizens. That's another good thing. Yeah, we're getting screwed. We used to own half the wealth of the world. We are being pilfered. Hmm. And, yeah, we'll see on that. That's a little farther in the future than my crystal ball can read. It is a roll of the dice large companies have to make. So anyway, I am going to put a link in the chat if anybody wants to come on and join me in talking, because I'm a little bit boring by myself. What is gold and silver doing since stuff is happening? Gold and silver are down too, down pretty hard. And I can't figure that out, because if we're heading into a recession, gold and silver should be a safe place to put park money. But they are down pretty hard over the last 3 days, really. But we'll see. So now's a good time to buy gold and silver, I would think. Focus on American made. Yeah, this is going to send prices higher, add more inflation to what we already suffered from. At least this time, inflation will be for a good reason. I mean, there are positive things. All the last 4 or 5 years, inflation has come from government overspending. And when the government overspends, the money's just gone. Nothing lasting or good comes from it, except the wrong people get rich. Yeah, I know. I already see higher prices at the gas pumps. Do y'all see higher prices? I think gasoline went up like 30 cents the last couple of weeks here. Hmm. Gas going up. Hmm. Yeah, 4 years is still a pretty long time, so that should. Oil tariffs. Gas is down and eggs are down there. Okay. $4.60, 68 cents out there for gas. What is the theory? There's lots of speculation on that. You got about 2 weeks to discuss it, Sadie? Uh, there's lots of theories. One being, gold and silver have been money for 5,000 years, and every fiat currency in the world has failed. The dollar hasn't yet, but how long's the dollar been around? 250 years? 280 a gallon in Memphis. We're pretty close to that. Now, it's probably $3 a gallon here now, but I live in a small town. We can go over to the big city and probably get it for 280 or less. So gas hasn't gone up much. But with new drilling fixing to start, the price of gas could come down even more. Drill, baby, drill. Raising their sales tax. Oh my God. Y'all are being taxed into oblivion out there in California. Man. Yeah, is Tesla stock down? Let me look it up. How much? I wonder how much Tesla sells overseas. Uh, TESLA. Yeah, it's down pretty hard. Let me check a year to date on them. They got as high as 430 and now they're at 270. Yeah, they're down pretty hard. Ooh. Bum, bum, bum. People are betting that there's going to be some recessionary stuff. But we all knew it would happen, right? It's not like it's a surprise that adding tariffs is going to slow the stock markets. I didn't think they would hit gold and silver this hard, but it appears that it has. So, with lower prices, is it time to buy? Don't know. The dollar is make-believe crap. All fiat currency is. I think there's like one or two countries in the world that are on a gold standard, and that's it. Everybody else uses fiat currency, which is just tied to the faith and goodwill of the people that use it. I never knew what Tesla looked like until it was pointed out. Supply chain is broken. Yeah, because of the new tariffs. We'll see. Wonder what fourth quarter Christmas. It might be good for us though if we sell used stuff. If you can buy my used stuff instead of new stuff from China, that could be good for my little business. Mm-hmm. Do-do. Norovirus. Gold 5,000, silver 500. I don't know. Why did you know more about it than me, or at least as much, Josh? Why did gold and silver go down the last 2 days? Just because everything else went down? People are running to what? Bonds? Do, do. We shall see. I was kind of surprised that gold went to 3,000, but it did. Da, da. See what gold is doing. Yeah, it's still solidly above 3,000. But gold hit an all-time high just this week, though, didn't it? 31.30. Oh, thanks, Jameis. Yeah, I can ask questions that nobody's got a good answer to, that's for sure. Do, 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 do. But you got to ask yourself, how big of an effect is all the happenings with the tariffs and stuff going to affect my little business? I can't imagine it being a huge effect on a lot of the stuff I sell. Do, do. You got into a bunch of your stock while you worked for Disney, right, Ping? Bum, 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 bum. Everybody's running to Whatnot. I like Whatnot, and I may try it someday, but I don't know. I don't have to yet, so I'm gonna be one of the lone holdouts. Jennifer. Da, 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 da. Yeah. Yep. 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 I don't know if I'm doing great. I'm kind of. I was hoping to hit. I've talked about this about every show. I kind of wanted to hit 100,000 for the year's gross sales, and I'm solidly 20% behind for the year to date so far. And I am actually I'm not very far behind last year, and last year was my best sales year ever. So there's that. It's not all bad. The U.S. imports pharmaceuticals 116.3 billion. China, India, and Japan. That sounds like a lot, but it's not really. In the world where we're talking $1 trillion here and there, 116 billion, even though that's a huge number that I don't have any concept of. That's less than the amount of money that Elon Musk owns. Mr. Patrick, how are you doing? Patrick. Hashtag. So anyway, what other topics can I bring up? Dun, dun. That's about all I'm doing. We got our garage sale weekend coming up, so 1 week from today, I will not do a show. I'm going to be out shopping. I go to the bank and get $800. Just shop till my shopaholic heart quits shopping. And then I'm going to looking at that auction that ends tomorrow. I don't really want more stuff. There's a difference though in buying stuff from the auction and buying stuff at garage sales, because garage sales are just fun. And you can make some smoking deals at garage sales. You can walk up to a bin of jewelry at a garage sale and find gold and silver, you know? That's exciting. That's fun. You can go buy an $80 pair of boots for $5 at a garage sales. It's just a treasure hunt, you know? Plus you get more inventory if you need it. Yeah, I always carry about $100 in $1 bills and $100 in $5 bills and $100 in $10 bills and the rest in 20s. So what an honor it is to have Leroy in the house. How you doing, Leroy? Leroy's been selling broken chainsaws. I can't believe how much money you're talking yesterday evening, showing those chainsaws you were selling. They didn't even have blades on them. They were just the chainsaw bodies. And they looked kind of oily and stained and scratched. Uh, how did they must just be valuable for parts, I guess. Dun, 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 dun. Garage sales in Memphis are yuck. Well, that's surprising. I figured Memphis would have a lot of good garage sales. So yeah, I'll probably try to strap on my GoPro and go garage selling. Get some video so I can do some videos on my channel. And then Saturday, since I'll be doing my own garage sale, Husqvarna or steel chainsaws. It's crazy, isn't it? Let's put tariffs on garage sales. Garage sales are kind of like the one true economy left, right? Where you can barter, or there's no taxes on stuff. I have so much stuff I can put into my garage sale. I'm going to sell toothbrush holders, 100 for $1. I probably won't sell any. Memphis poverty rate. State sales pretty good. Yeah. Last time we were at Memphis, Gwen had a fainting attack. That's when she started having her, she had to get a pacemaker. So she collapsed in her hotel room, and we sat in the emergency room at a hospital there for like 4 hours. And oh my gosh, all the low life that came through there. Not low life, just very poor, uh, unpleasant, unpleasant seeing all the people that lined up in that emergency room. Just not your thing doing the garage sales. But I'm kind of the same way you are about garage sales, about swap meets and stuff. And you do that a lot. I need to start handing out cha-chings. Well, yeah, man, my sales were bad yesterday after 2 banger days. It's just on the eBay roller coaster. You're up, you're down, you're up, you're down. Buying, fixing, selling. That has to be a good business, Mike. Everybody owns, lawnmowers and weed eaters and chainsaws and I know, what the heck? I'm not getting cha-ching. Y'all aren't getting cha-chings either this morning? Doo-doo. Yeah, they use the ERs. Well, because a large portion of poor people can't afford health insurance, so that's their only option. I understand why they go to the ER. Doo-doo. Doo-doo. Lag's been to that ER. I don't know. We had to pay for the service we got in the ER. I mean, Gwen had health insurance, but we still had to pay our deductible. Da da da. Speaking of ER, how you doing, Scott?
Just woke up. What's up?
Not much, man.
Well, I woke up at 5:30, and I told Phoebe she had to go back to bed. She woke me up at quarter to 7 because she eats every day at 7. I told her you got 15 minutes, and then I fell asleep for 45 more minutes. Ah,
Bread, bread. Thank God, save us. Why did Lag start calling you bread?
he misspelled it one time.
I know.
So I had a friend. He doesn't resell anymore, or not much anymore. But he sent me a message saying, "Have you seen this? There's a little town 40 minutes from here, Grant, Alabama. Uh, there's a thrift store that has it's like an overflow building where everything's $1. Well, the person who owned the land sold it, and so they're being kicked out of that building. Everything is now 50 cents, and it's everything. I mean, it's all electronics. It's all I mean, it's stuff that I don't know why it's in a dollar bill. And I've never been there, but they announced it yesterday about about, I don't know, about 2 o'clock. So I'm going to go there this morning
Sweet.
and see what kind of stuff I can find for 50 cents. It's 50 cents no matter what it is.
Yeah, that's just like me going to garage sales this Friday. I don't need more stuff right now, but hey, when you can get good stuff for cheap, why not? Bum, bum.
Yeah, so we had an auction last night. Auction did good. I sold $870 worth of stuff.
Wow. Had you been saving up for it? How long did it take you to acquire the stuff you put in it?
It's just that's the Van Massey auction. That's all that. I remember I told y'all, I don't know, a couple months ago I had a reseller reach out and say all that stuff from the machines they were building, Jello shop machines.
Yeah.
I was trying to list that stuff and sell motors, and it was selling real slow. But I made enough money to cover the 500, and I'm like, you know what? I'm supposed to start taking cases of stuff up there. Well, one of those cases of 24 motors, like small little uh, DC 24 volt motors, got $110 last night. I'm like, and a couple others went for 40 and 60, and I'm like, the good thing about that is I've still got 11 more cases of those motors. So I'm gonna
That's a
I'm
pretty
just
niche
now that the
thing there.
trailer now that the truck works, I'm gonna Monday I'm just gonna hook the trailer up and pull it up there and unload as much of that stuff as I can on my 3 trailers.
You've been fixing on that truck for months, it seems like.
It's hard to work on brakes in the driveway when it's cold.
Yeah.
Hey, it's back though.
Bum, 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 bum.
So that's normally the stuff like I go pick up this 50 cent stuff and take up there. But I guess I'm gonna stick this 50 cent stuff in a building and then hold it until I finish because I'm gonna run the three auctions. So next 6 weeks of these all this stuff in my trailer to get my trailer back. That's it, chassis. I'm in a dream. I don't know why that one camera does that.
You got so much light coming in behind you, it's doing that, I think.
No, it's just camera. I don't know why it does that. Where's the little settings camera? That one picks up so much light. I don't know why.
Oh, there you go. You're all pretty now.
I don't wake up now. Your dream is over. Nightmare begins.
Look at you. Look at you. Yep.
Put on my Canadian hat. Oh, Canada.
Yep. And you know who's been in the chat for side chat this morning?
Oh, Josh.
Yeah, he says gold is going to 5,000 and silver's going to 500, so we'll see. Probably in his lifetime. I may die before it gets that high. Leroy's here. Check it out.
Yeah, man. So evidently it started raining on y'all yesterday at the flea market. So she only sold a little bit, and then she got in her car and was, I guess, going to her store. And you were looking at her dash and everything else, and she's talking to people, and it's bouncing up and down, looking at her dash. I'm like, she's gonna make me car sick. I have to hang it. I have to quit watching this. So there's a lady who goes to the flea market, Lee, where he goes to, and she just goes live on whatnot and just sells. She asks people, "Hey, y'all want this? It's $3, so I'll start it for 6 if y'all want it." And a couple Mondays ago, I was watching her, or Thursday, one of the two, She sold $2,200 worth of stuff in 3 hours on Whatnot. Just stuff at the that she was buying. She's about, I gotta go to the bank and get more money. I didn't bring enough money.
Crazy times that Whatnot district and all that stuff has
Yeah,
been.
Jennifer's father has sold at the flea market for her whole life, and he sells it at Leroy buys from Jennifer's dad. Yeah, you got to be there early too, Leroy. She gets there at dark. If you're not dedicated at flea markets and don't like tomorrow, I'm going to a flea market. It's an hour and 40 minutes from here, and so whatever time I need to look and see when what sunrise is in the morning. I'm gonna leave here 2 hours before to make sure I get there right at, because so many people will go to the flea market and go, I don't know how people keep making money and finding things at the flea market, and they'll get there like 9 or 10 o'clock. All the good shit's gone. Then I'm doing the same thing Sunday. There's another one that's probably 30 miles from that one. I'm doing that one too. Uh
So the
Leroy's there with flashlights. Yeah.
the flea market is a lot like
It's a lot like
garage
yard sale.
sales. You got to be
Yeah,
there
if
early.
be there early in the first couple hours, that's it. I can take one of my big ass flashlights.
There you go.
Not that one. That one is not LED.
I got this tactical flashlight and some of the auction stuff, and it's like a $250 flashlight, but it doesn't have the charger, and I can't find where to. I've done some research on it. And I
I do
can't
too. I need to read the prohibited products. What are the prohibited? I don't think you can sell medicine, right?
at a flea market.
Yeah, and on the Whatnot.
Hmm.
I've seen them sell just about everything else but medicine.
Fort Lauderdale guys are showing up at 3:30 a.m. Sheesh, that's a little crazy, isn't it?
All right, here we go.
Yeah, it's not
Prohibited
illegal.
or restricted products on Whatnot. Adult and explicit items. So no sex toys.
Just got a regular LED.
Sorry, lad. Sorry, gal. You can't sell those. Air guns, pellet guns, BB guns, and toy guns.
Vortex TR3.
It says may be sold on Whatnot as long as you can sell the U.S. only air guns, knives, and hunting category. They've got to have just same as eBay. They've got to have the orange tip, and that's the .25 or toy guns are permitted as long as they're clearly marked as a toy. And so the one that got Tom's show blasted, you can't use that. You can't sell that. Can't sell animals or animal products. Bombs or explosives, cannabis, CD, or hemp. There's a specific policy on cosmetics. You can't sell credit and debit cards or embargoed items. No expired items unless it's being disclosed as expired and being sold as a collectible, not for consumption.
Oh, Yeah, well, it sold before anybody found out about it, I guess, Mike.
Hateful and derogatory items. So you can't sell your Nazi stuff there. You're not supposed to. I've seen people sell stuff. It makes no damn sense. No Black Americana items. That's are we? This is what's wrong with us. Black Americana is very, very popular with all races. You know, yeah, it's pretty much there's not a there's nothing surprising on the list. Gal said he buys adult stuff on whatnot all the time. And you need cleaning supplies for your blow up doll.
Now, I've seen a couple of your videos where they were selling goats and chickens and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They can't do that at that one. Selling puppies.
Yeah, the flea markets right here also sell animals.
Morning, Doug and Ro. How's Perky this morning? They're just getting up. 7-Eleven there.
Correct. Yeah, I've got
John
sales were kind of
Jones.
sales were kind of okay yesterday.
Man, I had crazy good sales Wednesday and Thursday and or Tuesday and Wednesday, and then no, what was it?
Respond to open offers. All right, so let's see
Yeah,
what the
Tuesday and
offer
Wednesday
is.
sales were great, and then Thursday sales I sold $68,
Is this that same
two
guy? I've
items.
had this guy wanting these shoes and trying to buy these shoes. Is this the same guy? You can have them, dude. I don't care. There's one guy who's been making me offer after offer after offer on this pair of shoes. You can have them. I don't care. They're Robert Graham. They're the most funky shoes. Y'all ready to see how funky these shoes are? Lag's probably already seen it because he's looking at my account to see what I sold.
Dang.
I accepted all. Oh, they haven't paid yet. That's why. Uh,
$700 week.
see how pretty them shoes are. They're like paisley, green and purple, green stitching with purple paisley.
Look like moccasins.
Yeah, they're Robert Graham driving shoes.
Huh.
That might be easier to see. Ooh.
Robert, same company that makes those.
Those funky shirts. Yeah, these are those
Those.
funky shoes.
Okay.
Yeah, but it doesn't show the color very well through the computer. But they are purple and with that bright green stitching. They look. I don't think they were. They appear. If somebody wore them, they did very well. Yeah, I had somebody who was a repeat buyer. He's a damn drop shipper. Evidently, because I didn't ship in 24 hours, he canceled. Uh, he made it to the block list. Don't be bothering me no more, you Craig Murray drop lister. You. I don't know, Craig. You look too fancy getting out of Saturn with them shoes on.
Scott's getting sales.
That's that pair of shoes that paid. I took the offer.
Uh, what'd they go for?
$45 plus shipping.
There you go.
I had them listed like 75. But I mean they're real light. Yeah. What did I sell it? Amazon. I think I've got like 8 to ship on Amazon. 8 of the same item. That's winning, right? I'm telling you, find something local that sells in your area. You'll be this one. I've talked about it before, and I quit selling it for years. And all of a sudden, I'm like, why am I not selling this? And I've got 5 of them to ship this morning. They cost me. I buy them at Walmart. It costs me whatever $2.32 is times 3, and I sell them for $23.50.
I haven't seen a Wick video in a couple of weeks. Did he slow down on making videos? That guy can still find stuff at
And he goes to a lot of the same ones.
he can find so much stuff at thrift stores. Whenever I go to thrift stores, I can't find anything. But I haven't been in 5 years. I don't need to go to thrift stores. I got so much stuff I can get from auctions and garage sales and wherever. I get way more stuff from the Lutherans than I would at any thrift store. Barbecue sauce.
That's Craig. Are they sending those to you? That's crazy. If somebody sent me a who's that? So Barry sent me shit, I went with the wrong one. Damn it. Barry sent poor Tom, everybody is taking over
Now that's a death pile, Major. I don't even have 10,000 items to list. Of course, Major Wynn's in a perfect spot to get good clothing at a reasonable price.
All right, where am I at? Share. Present. Share screen. Don't show these tips again. Allow. All right, all right. I don't know if the sound will come through, but are y'all ready for this? As soon as Todd shares it. You ready, Todd?
There you go.
Can y'all see the guy under the under blankets? Your dog is making too much noise.
It is 2 o'clock in the fucking morning. I think it's time you got your fucking ass in the bed. That's where I'm. It is 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, well, you and the other dog are making too much noise. Tom comes in. Angry Tom comes in and tells you to keep it down.
Was that Angry Grandma?
Yeah, somebody put Angry Grandma's voice over with the dog standing there, the older dog standing there. Yeah, I hadn't even checked the other eBay account yet. Did we sell anything on the second eBay account?
You've had stuff from that actress for a long time now, haven't you, Doug? I think I remember you talking about that like months ago. That wasn't Tom?
You can, Doug, you can do your part to help out ICE and help out the country by, sort of putting the clothes on the front of a little contraption on the front of your car, and tell them they can't have it till they get to Mexico, and make them chase you down the street for free clothes all the way to Mexico.
I understand that Val Kilmer was a hoarder of movie stuff. Somebody will have.
Yeah, there's a big conspiracy thing. People are trying to say, didn't he die during the making of the last Top Gun? No, they announced he was sick during that movie. That's why he couldn't speak. They used whatever. People will be crazy. Yeah, I thought I'd done good. I bought a coffee maker yesterday for $6. It sells for 70 or 80. I'm like, I'm gonna run out here and grab it real quick and plug it inside and run some hot water through it to make sure it works before while my breakfast toast is heating. That bitch won't turn on.
Yeah.
Consider resetting the thermal fuse or thermostat.
Did it look like this?
Did it look like what?
Like this coffee maker.
I don't see a coffee maker. Oh, no. This is a Keurig.
Yeah, this one sells for like $50. It's old.
Yeah, and that's a percolator, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I picked up two. So the weirdest shit happens. I don't know if I told this story. So I was at the thrift store Tuesday on Old People Day because it's Old People Day, and there's a Bonavita is a coffee maker. They make expensive coffee makers. I'd never seen them before until I picked up one 6 weeks ago at a thrift store, and then a few weeks later I picked up another one, and then now Tuesday I've picked up a third one. The only place I've ever seen these coffee makers are at that thrift store. They all three came from the same thrift store. Is that weird? Never heard of the brand, never seen it, but now I've got three of them out of the same thrift store.
Huh. I don't know.
And this one was in his box.
You think it's the same person each time bringing them in?
Can't find out. Too bad this one wasn't new. It's like new in the box. If it was new, it's like $140 coffee maker. But I think I can only get like 75 or 80. I am officially old. Trying to let Johnny wake up so I can drag her to that thrift store with me. chassis. That happens a lot. Especially with the minis, but the Black and Decker ones too, uh, because they lose the lids on the Black and Decker have that little, or maybe it's the Cuisinart, have that little part that hangs down that if you spin the lid to get it into the thing, because it's got to flip that switch to make it where it comes on. So if they break the lid, they got to have a new lid. So this coffee maker, I mean, I'll show you why this is a good one. It's probably getting. I'm trying to decide whether the part out or not. Bona Vida coffee maker. Okay, so this person has got it for $39. Hey Todd, make me big, not you.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I'm not paying attention.
We know. All right, so that you can leave it here. So if y'all look at the coffee maker, you see the lid is sitting on the ground on the in front of it. It's because when it brews, the basket sits there on top, and so when it stores, the lid stores separate, so they lose the lid. The lid is worth uh $30 by itself. And then I've sold the carafe for 30 plus shipping. I've sold uh the filter basket for, I think I got 18 for the filter basket. Then I got like 33 for the unit. Where this person is getting 39 total. If you split them up, just a carafe, and you can get 50 out of just the carafe and the lid. So the carafe takes a little longer to sell. But yeah, that's so you can take the 39 plus shipping, or you can wait a little longer but get 30, 50, 70. You can get between 90 and 100 for that machine. And I don't know what's special about it. The one here looks brand new, but it's in the box. But even in the box, they're only I think the last one sold for 59. See, there you go. Somebody sold the carafe together. 35 plus 12 shipping. So they got $47 just for the carafe. And there's the lid. Somebody had it on sale for 25, 16 plus 7 shipping. They undersold that lid. Because there it is for 19 plus almost 8 shipping. And there's me selling that carafe no lid. Went in. What did I get for it? I got 29 plus 14 shipping. Went in. And there's me selling the other filter basket. Went in. Filter basket went for 21 plus 5. So that machine's a good one to part out. So I'm going today, Doug, to pick up a bunch of mess that are 50 cents. Everything in the store is 50 cents. And so I'm going that way they had all kinds of electronics. They said they estimated 300 to 400 albums. Who knows what they are? This is a little bitty country place. Major win, but you got to spell them right. You can't. They're not percolators for you guys. They're percolators. That could be your stick. Some percolators. Flip a good one. How much are you gonna list that percolator for?
I gotta run some vinegar through it. It's kind of stained on the inside, so but probably at least 50, huh?
If somebody showed you how to clean one of them things, maybe you would fill it with hot water and put Cascade in it and just let it sit for about 30 minutes.
Oh yeah, Cascade. Dang it.
I don't know who told you to do that, but that dude
Better
was smart.
remember.
Man,
It
I picked
works. I plugged it in. Boy, it heated up.
up a coffee carafe on the same Tuesday, and it was the dirtiest one I've ever seen. I mean, the inside of it was, black. Johnny had to do the Cascade thing 3 times to get it clean. We've never had to do it more than once, and she ran Cascade. She took the lid all apart, and she's like, "People are disgusting." And the lid, she had to run the lid twice by itself. She's like, "Who is drinking stuff out of this?" I mean, because you add water to it, you don't even need coffee. You just add water to it. It was so dirty it would turn the water brown. If you were just wanting brown water.
Yeah.
Mm.
I've opened up Keurigs before and found mold though. Yuck.
Yeah, but have you opened up Keurigs and found a 925 watch? 925 ring.
I have not.
That's the winner right there.
You haven't sold that ring yet?
I hadn't listed it anywhere. It's just sitting there hanging out. I might want to keep it now that Josh says that silver's going to what, 5,000?
Yep.
Doug. Every place here is not a country place. I think there's, if you include Madison and the whole little area around Huntsville, I think the greater Huntsville area is about 500,000 people now, which doesn't sound like a lot. You live in California with bigger cities, but 30 or 40 years ago, we're talking, I don't know if it broke 100,000. It's been insane growth over the last 30 years, and it's at a just a crazy pace. No, but this is if you drive 20 miles out of town and then hang a right on a 2-lane road and go another 5 miles into the country. At the top, Grant sits on the top of like a ridge that come where the Appalachians come down. There's just nothing there. Oh, don't worry. Just for you, Doug, to show you what nowhere really is, I'll take the camera today. We know you guys live in California and y'all, it's like if you drove to Northern California up there. That's the way this place is. There's just nothing there. But there is a drugstore, there is a grocery store, there is an Ace Hardware, and a second thrift store. So I'm gonna hit all those while I'm there.
Flip it good. You want the coffee pot? Percolator? The cord is good, but it's missing the little screw that holds the 2-prong thing in it. So it's got a piece of black tape holding it together. It still works, but I wonder
Make
if the
sure.
hardware store would have that screw that goes in it.
Man, that machine that there had just bags and bags of screws and all kinds of stuff. We're talking little bitty screws and these big bags. And I threw all that on the auction table last night and called it a hardware lot. And I got $37.50 for all that crazy shit. Let's ask Joe how he did last night. How was Van Massey last night? I forgot all about it. It was 4 things I wanted to buy, and I forgot all about it. Me and Phoebe were sitting in the recliner doom scrolling. Try to get Johnny to go with me, because her making comments on a video will make it way more interesting. Just listening to me.
Yeah, there's a little machine screw that holds that plug together. And the screw is gone. It's just held together with a piece of black electric tape.
You should be able to take it to. You guys got a local hardware store?
Yeah.
I would just take the cord with me to a local hardware store, because most of them have like bins of screws or whatever, or
Mm-hmm.
just it'd probably be a quarter to find the one that fits in there, right?
Right.
That's the nice thing I like about Lowe's and Home Depot is they've got those trays of all the screws, so you can take whatever something over there and figure out which one it is and just write on the bag what it was, so they can charge you for it.
Yeah, our local Ace Hardware, they're pretty expensive. Just for
But
a
not
little screw like that, it'd probably cost $3.90.
if you only knew somebody who could tell you what to look for in that Ace Hardware old stuff, that you can make a lot of money in the profit. I don't know who that bastard is, but if you ever meet him, ask him.
He's getting too old. So I got a package that FedEx has not scanned past me dropping it off. I'm like, crap.
Well, they suck.
It's supposed to be delivered yesterday. Expected delivery yesterday. I looked at it and, well, crap.
And have no idea where it is, huh?
I got the notification on my phone where it was scanned in at Dollar General. I guess
They
I'm gonna
say
have to make a
it's
claim on FedEx pretty soon. Do they have like a time period you have to wait before you can make a claim?
I don't use FedEx, so I don't know FedEx.
I've gotten a refund from FedEx before over a broken item. I sold a record player to a guy in California, and the guy had a video camera on his doorbell, and the FedEx guy come bringing it up his walkway, and he drops it from about 4 feet right on the corner and busts up that. So yeah, FedEx paid off on that. We included that. He gave me the video so I could include it in the claim. It was a pain, but it was a $250 turntable.
Yeah, I had a piece of Corning. How bad does UPS have to throw a box around that they break a piece of Corningware? I've dropped that stuff from waist high and it doesn't break. How hard do you have to throw a box around it? So I was out of bubble wrap, so I put it in craft paper, but I overpacked it with craft paper. I mean,
Mm.
uh, lag 100%. Lag. God, UPS breaks more shit. Hell, I watched my own driver drop shit in the driveway, and he's standing there with the hand truck, just setting it into the back of his truck, throwing it on shelves. I'm like, if you're just gonna throw it in there, what do you do when you get back to where it is, and what does everybody else do? It's just
Yeah, there's a bunch of videos out about delivery people just chucking stuff or kicking it or
I had a little memory card laying around here somewhere. All right, I'm going to the middle of nowhere. As soon as I find a battery for this camera.
All right. Yeah, I gotta pack up my awesome 2 items I've got to ship out this
I
morning.
want Doug to be able to see the middle of nowhere, Alabama, so he can. That's what I thought, Doug. I might. And then I think to myself, how much it would be easy for the customer to break their part and keep their broken piece, and when they get the piece from a seller, to throw all their broken ones in a box and go, look what happened. I've had that thought more than once. When I thought, there's no way that could have broke. And I get messages saying it broke. Oh, Leroy, 100%. Tell your family you said hi. Okay. If they live on Grant Mountain in Grant, Alabama. I do like going to that place, the pharmacy that I go in there and buy a few things from. It's like a pharmacy souvenir stop. They've got some old stuff in there. Same family has owned it. I think the 2 daughters are now pharmacists. Their dad or grandfather started it. They're pretty neat to talk to. And no, I didn't talk to them first. She saw me looking up items one time and came and talked to me and gave me the whole story.
Well, stocks are down, gold is down.
But Josh said,
Supply chains are screwed up.
because y'all know if I'm in one of these places, I'm not talking to anybody. Nobody.
Okay, we'll do, lag. All right, folks, thanks for showing up. Beard, thanks for coming in.
Yeah, sorry I overslept.
Tom's mom is in the hospital.
Hmm.
So be
She gonna
thinking
be
about
okay?
her.
Is she gonna be okay? Do we know?
Heart pain, chest pain.
Chest pain. So they're trying to figure out what it is.
Yeah. So y'all be mindful of them, and we'll see y'all a little bit on Primo Chemo show.
He don't do a Friday show, does he?
Oh, no, he doesn't, does he? Okay, John's show this evening. Are you going to do a show late tonight?
I don't know. Probably. I always think that I'm not gonna do it and end up doing it. Who knows? It's a mystery. Stay tuned.
All right. Bye.